Now we're going to take a look at the classic James Taylor track, You've Got a Friend. Before we start, you'll notice that I've put the capo back on, and this is at the 2nd fret this time, raising the pitch of the strings up by a whole tone. Now this song, when you listen to it on the original recording, there's 2 guitar parts going on, there's a lot of interweaving of the parts, so really what I've chosen to do here is just give you the little main sort of intro phrase, if you like, the famous little lick. And then the rest of it, I've just chosen to really vamp around the chords and just arrange it and condense it down into almost like a simple guitar form, if you like, which will hopefully make it a little bit more approachable. When I was playing through the original, working from a transcription, it just seemed to be a little bit nothingness if I was playing it on my own. It sounds great when you're playing it with, you know, bass and drums and another guitar player and you've got all these parts doing their thing, but on its own it just sometimes sounded a little bit hollow. So I'm just going to really rely on the chord shapes and the chord voicings and a few little fills around those chords, and then it's going to be up to you to just take this idea and hopefully embellish it for yourself. Anyway, let's take a look at the introduction. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're holding a G chord to start off with our 3rd and 4th fingers. We play the G, sorry, the bottom E, the G, the E, and then the G, B, add your 3rd finger onto the 4th fret of the G string, so open B, and then to the 3rd fret with your 1st finger, so slowly. Now we place our 3rd finger on the A string at the 5th fret. Now we play the top E at the 5th fret, open G, 3rd fret of the B. Now we play the open D, and then we play the top E, and then the D string. Well, we can actually just play the top 3 strings if you prefer, it sounds a little fuller. Then place your 3rd finger back down on the bottom E string and play the open B and the top E at the 5th fret and the bottom E at the 5th fret. And as you play that, hammer onto the 3rd fret of the B string. Now take it away. Now play 4th fret G, and then back to open B and 5th fret top E. So it's then just some random arpeggios around that chord. Then we have a G sharp minor at the 4th fret, and then we have a C sharp 7, which is 4, 3, 4, open, and that's A string, D string, G string, B string. So one more time. Okay, I'm, like I said, showing a little bit of artistic license and improvisation on this particular lesson, just to fill it out a little bit and make it sound more like a single guitar rhythm part. Okay, let's take a look now at the first part of the first verse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we started off with the E minor chord. Now the C sharp 7. Drop the root note down onto the 4th fret of the bottom E. Back to the E minor. Or the, should call it F sharp minor really, but I'm just looking at it as being an E minor. Now we've got the C sharp again. Back to the F sharp. And we had our little finger on the 5th fret B there to give us a little bit of more harmonic movement by adding the minor seventh. Just want to point out with these arpeggios, I'm being quite random as well, so. Now we have a B minor seventh, which is basically an A minor seventh. Okay, our next E7, but it's got a sus in the top, so that's 3rd fret B, 4th fret G, 5th fret at the top E. And now we're just back into our opening A chord. And again, I'm just playing some hammer-on and pull-off figures there on the B string at the 3rd fret. Okay, one more time. 3, 4, and. Okay, you can hear just by experimenting with different combinations of the fingerpick style and some of the hammer-on and pull-offs, it kind of fills it out a little bit as opposed to just playing, very strictly what was played on the record. Okay, let's now take a look at the second half of the verse progression. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, starts off with our G sharp minor again, to our C sharp 7. I'm actually changing that chord slightly. I'm playing 4 on the A, 3 on the D, 4 on the G, open B, and then 4 on the top E. Okay, nice voicing that. So there's our C sharp, F sharp minor, C sharp, and now to our F sharp minor, minor 7th, adding our little finger on the B string at the 5th fret, B minor 7, C sharp minor 7 now, barring from the 4th fret, A, playing 5 on the B and 6 on the D. Now we have our E7 sus 4. Which is 1 on the B, keep counting the capo as 1. 3 on the B, 4 on the G, and 5 on the top E, open D. Then we have this little figure which is open D, 4 on the G, open top E, and then 4 on the G, 4 on the top E, 4 on the G, and then pull off 5 to 4, and then play the G. So one more time, 3, 4, and... Okay, let's take a look at the first section of the chorus. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, started off with our A major again, the G shape, just every so often we turn it into a major 7 by just dropping the 5th fret, top E, down to the 4th fret. And I'm being quite random with the picking, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and Now we play a D major 7, 5th fret of the A string, 4th fret of the D, B minor 7, and our E sus again. So very straightforward chord arpeggios, but I'm probably playing a little more than the record just to, like I said, pad it out. So. Here's the second half of our chorus progression. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to take a look at our final section from this track, which is the middle 8 section. We've covered all of the main parts. The track just simply repeats these verses and choruses. A little bit fiddly in this middle section, so again I've used a little bit of artistic license with some of the picking patterns and some of the chords, just to fill it out a little bit and make it a little bit more approachable in terms of you know, being performed as maybe just as one guitar and a voice. Anyway, I'll play through the middle 8 section for you and then we'll break it down. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that section sounds a little bit odd on its own and a little bit kind of sparse in terms of the parts, and there are some other parts going on the second guitar playing little single note lines. We start off pretty much with this figure, which I'm playing the 3rd fret of the bottom E, so it's a G chord. We're playing the open A, so it's like a G add 9, and then we play the 3rd fret of the B string and then the open top E, so you've got the F sharp and the A, so called a G major 9. So we play the G and the E and the G together, and then the B, top E, G, and now we as we play that bottom E, we hammer on to the 4th fret of the G, B, top E, G. Now hold our C chord shape for the D chord. So it's just open G and the D string, B, top E, B, and then we play open D, hammer on 4th fret, open G, and then pull off 1st finger to open B and then open G, and then back into our regular A chord, which is just the G shape. So you get this and again there I'm just playing more random chord arpeggios, but just making sure I get that hammer on there on the 3rd fret of the B. We've also got the major 7th there in the 2nd bar, which we've already seen this figure. So now back to our D chord. Now we do our G major 9 again here, and this time we play the 3rd fret of the bottom E, and as we strike the open G string, we hammer onto the 4th fret, and then play the top E. So then the bottom E, then the G, open top E, and then we play the E again, and then the B string. So slowly, 3, 4, and... Now to the F sharp minor chord. We're adding our little finger on the B string there to give us that minor 7th. Now we've got a new chord, which is B7, and for this we're playing the open A, and we play the 2nd fret of the D, the 4th fret of the D string with the open G and B. So that's, and then we add our 2nd finger on the 4th fret B, then take it away, and then bring it back in. So, then play our little E7 sus chord up the top there. And then finish off with an E7, which is basically a D7 shape, playing 4th fret G, 3rd fret B, and then the top E at the 4th fret. Okay, well, we've covered all the parts found in You've Got a Friend. I would suggest listening to the original, try and get some idea of the arrangement down. And also in terms of this chord part, this is quite a tricky one to teach this because of the fact that the 2 guitar parts throughout are so strong and there's a lot of lines that are, you know, working together. So, like I said, I've kind of looked at it as if someone said, do you know how to play You've Got a Friend? You know, and based it very much around just the chord parts and, you know, come up with some arpeggio ideas of my own. And that concludes You've Got a Friend.